This is an RNZ podcast.
On June 13th, Israel launched a surprise air attack on Iranian nuclear facilities, killing top military commanders. Iran, which denies trying to build nuclear weapons, retaliated with missiles on Israeli military sites and cities. While a bilateral ceasefire is in place now, with the two countries agreeing to halt attacks, for Iranian Kiwis, the war has tragically severed consistent contact with their families. The uncertainty of what next continues to weigh heavily on them. With this episode of Here Now, we're taking a break from the ongoing music series Back to Basics. In the light of the situation in Iran, we speak to two Iranian New Zealanders who've spent the last few weeks in despair and worry about the fate of their families in Iran and that of their homeland.
I'm 14 weeks pregnant. My husband went back to Iran 3 weeks ago to visit his mom, who had a back surgery. He went there to take care of her and come back with my own mom to be with us during my pregnancy. And for the birth of my child, their flight got cancelled.
The women have asked to remain anonymous for reasons of personal safety and that of their families in Iran. So we'll call who you just heard Mina.
We are worried about our family and friends back in Iran, and that we cannot do much, unfortunately.
And we'll call her Ava. At least up to 80 New Zealand Iranians were trapped in Iran. A New Zealand Defence Force aircraft has been deployed to bring back those stranded New Zealand citizens, and Mina is hoping her husband can get on this flight.
I wasn't able to talk to my mom for several days. The internet connection has been interrupted severely in Iran. I could manage to talk to my husband. There is uncertainty, fear, and my situation is, to be honest, I totally forgot about myself and my baby. I'm only focusing on their safety and doing my best to help them if I can. To get out of the country.
Both Mina and Ava are PhD holders and work in the fields of software and education in two different cities across New Zealand. They've managed to take some time off while the war raged over these past few weeks. For Mina, this isn't the first time she's had to deal with the fallout of travelling back home at a time of war.
Last year, unfortunately, the same thing happened to me when I was back in Iran. So there was also a missile strike between Israel and Iran, and my flight also got cancelled. But the situation wasn't as worse as this is now, because back then there wasn't any people getting killed. So it was, and the flights were still operating.
As the New Zealand aircraft arranges for New Zealand citizens to be brought back safely, the logistics of locating family members has been a huge challenge. Some are in regions with poor internet access and can't register themselves with MFAT.
So because of the internet connections interruptions in Iran, they are not able to do that. So I was the one who registered his name with Ministry of Foreign Affairs portal. So, and I received an email giving instructions to how get out of Iran via land, and then received this news that there is an aircraft sending to Middle East. And I asked about who are they going to help. They said only citizens and permanent residents. So my mom currently is holding a visitor visa, so they are not going to be able to help my mom to get out of country. So it will be just my husband if they could manage to get to the aircraft.
In what's being called the 12-day war, 627 people have been killed in Iran by Israeli strikes and nearly 5,000 injured. And Iran's retaliatory bombardment has killed 28 in Israel. Many in the New Zealand Iranian community are hoping an emergency visa can be provided to their family members so they can join them here. So far, there's been no indication this will be offered by MBIE. Here's Ava again.
And what are you hearing from amongst your community members?
Yeah, basically, we are all worried. The only thing we are trying to reach out to all the impact immigration here, there, and raise our voice and request for some help. That help can be, in different ways, even though we requested to get a special visa for close families to get maybe 6 or 8 months visa to come over here, but haven't heard back any reply back from any, immigration or impact. So yeah, it's a really challenging time at the moment. I'm alone here, so all my family back in Iran, and I'm really worried about them. I haven't heard from them in the last 2-3 days. It's really difficult just checking the news.
To be honest, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just trying to stay positive, trying to stay hopeful, because I'm here alone. My friends are trying to help me, to support me, but I feel like I need to stay positive and take it day by day to survive because of my child, and hope for the best.
The uncertainty of what next weighs particularly heavily on the diaspora, many of whom, like these two women, have little to no family here in New Zealand. But life has to somehow carry on. Here's Mina.
I'm still working. I have to. I cannot take more than 1 or 2 days of sick leave because of mental distress. I have to work. I need the money. I'm alone. So I have to keep going. We are constantly worrying. We are constantly checking the news. We are constantly checking what's happening each minute. So if there was a possibility that we could have our loved ones here, at least for the short amount of time, to make sure that they are safe here with us, that would be a great help to our mental health, our lives.
Through all of this, the women have felt supported by their networks at work, who've extended a sense of empathy and care for their situation. Here's Ava.
They are really kind, and but I'm sure that even though they are very confused with the situation, so I really thanks for their respect. Even though they don't know what's happening in the background and they are not aware of the, because you just can see this news, but inside the community, lots of other things happening.
Mina too has found comfort in her interactions with the wider community in New Zealand.
This morning we had a staff meeting, and one of my colleagues is from United States. So immediately after the staff meeting, when I talked about the situation, so firstly, they've been really nice during the past week, sending me lovely messages and asking about my family this morning again. So this particular person sent me a message and said, I'm really sorry for the involving of United States in the war, but I want you to know that this is not me and this is not my friends and anyone I know. And it was really interesting for me because she thought that she will be defined by their presidents in my head, but that wasn't the case. And I hope this isn't the case for New Zealanders about Iranians, and we don't want our government to define us. And unfortunately, there is always this complication going on for us and for the picture that is in the head of and in the mind of people about us, the complexity of the news out there. And I replied to this colleague that, of course, that you are not defined by your president, and I hope this is not the case in your mind as well. So this is my hope.
While the ceasefire seems to be holding and family members are soon to return to New Zealand on the rescue flight, things continue to feel fragile and uncertain for many in the Iranian community. Big thanks to both the women who offered to speak to me for this episode of Here Now. We'll be back next week to continue the Back to Basics series with Zimbabwe-born Jabulani Moyo. You can follow Here Now on all your favourite podcast platforms, and you'll also find us on the RNZ website. Thanks for listening.